Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we hit number 200, question number 200 for DevOps and SRE interview practices. The point of these videos is for you to feel ready and confident walking into an interview for DevOps and SRE role. I'm trying to cover the 15 most important topics in as much width and as much depth as possible so that your knowledge is also going to be that much more effective. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. It's nothing free, but it's actually a big deal for my channel. So I would really appreciate if you did do that. So as you might know from my other videos, I did some research and I came up with these 15 most important topics for DevOps and SRE roles. The ones at the top are more important than the ones at the bottom. However, the ones at the bottom are also not negligible. So please spend some time on them. But of course, spend more time on the first 5 or 6 topics. Those are obviously more important based on data. So today we're at topic number 8, security / compliance / DevSecOps. So we're going to have a question about security in DevOps today. The question is, where can you terminate SSL certs? So just to give a little background, um, when we do any communication between two servers or a client and a server, if you want the communication to be encrypted so that nobody can come in the middle of the communication and grab clear text data as is being transmitted. That's where we use SSL certificates for example, HTTPS web servers and many other cases. So that's what this question is all about. Here, the interviewer is looking for your knowledge, not just about web servers, but also how SSL cert are used in more than just web servers. That's the key here. If you just talk about the web servers, then you're going to fall short on the expectations. Okay. Just a quick reminder that my career advisor, Floyd Spencer, is giving away a 1 hour free session. I'm not financially affiliated with him, and this is not an ad. So I just happen to know that he cares a lot about people in the job market today. So please do take advantage of that. So here are some of the answers. I think that covers most of it. I can't think of anything else. You are not expected to remember all of these by any means. If you remember 3, that's great. If you remember 2, that's probably okay, but not great. But if you even if you remember 3, you were killing it. So first of all, normally a web server certificate is actually sits on the load balancer that serves traffic. Those certs are normally not sitting on the web servers or application servers. They're actually serving the traffic behind the load balancer. That's where most of the certs are terminated. So, and the communication between the load balancer and the servers and back end could be encrypted in other ways, or it could be clear text. The third way is, second way, of course, you can take the communication all the way to that web server and have a certificate there, but that's more high maintenance than needed. You can also have a reverse proxy do it for you. There are several cases for that, but most common is when you're caching data, at the proxy layer. You can have a cert at the reverse proxy. For example, running something like Nginx, you can do a cert there as well. If you are serving up data through API endpoints, again, so here's an example where it's not a web service; it's an API endpoints. You can put a cert on the API gateway, like AWS has a service literally called API gateway that takes your traffic based on endpoints and puts on the back end. But you can have the cert just sitting on the API gateway, so you don't have to put cert on every single endpoints in the API. If you have a CDN, I don't know if you don't know what CDN is, or if you want to know more about that, please do research on that on YouTube. There's plenty of videos on that. But if you're using a content delivery network, Edge CDN, you don't want your client to go all the way to the main server. That beats the whole point of having a CDN. So you want to have a certificate at the CDN level as well. The last two are really special cases. There's such things called HSMs, hardware security modules, where if your communication is so important, like military or postal service or something that couldn't possibly be hacked, that's the level of security you need. You can actually have the encryption decrypted by a device that's actually a hardware device. It's not a server, virtual machine, anything like that. Is actually hardware, specialized hardware, even at that. These can cost upwards of $35,000 to get. So these are really specialized devices. For example, if you stole a HSM, it will self-destruct. If it's out of its environment, it will self-destruct, so you can never get the key. You can also do this certification search on the client side, but that's extremely rare. We won't even get into that today. But again, you don't have to remember all of this. Just remember maybe 3, and you're good to go. Alrighty, if you have more questions, you can find me on LinkedIn, or you can just leave a comment below, and I will see you in the next one.